Okay, gang, put your guidebooks away, put satellite image view away. I have found it. I have found Paddling Paradise. Let's go. Okay, so I would say in general, the paddling in Nova Scotia is gorgeous. But then to get a little bit more specific, I would say the paddling on the Eastern Shore, which is what it's called, my brain would call it the Southeast Coast. But the paddling there is amazing, just beautiful, just dotted with islands and inlets and crags. Really, really nice paddling, like world class. I would, without a doubt, travel to the Eastern Shore of Nova Scotia to paddle. It is beautiful. However, I am now paddling in the 100 Wild Islands. I launched from a place called Murphy's on the Ocean, Murphy's Camping on the Ocean, which we'll talk about in a bit. This is world-class kayaking that no one is going to. I had not heard of it until I started researching. I may have been tipped off to this by a viewer. If that's true and it's you, thank you. If I could be making that up. But I think a viewer tipped me off to this place. A viewer definitely tipped me off to Murphy's. This is gorgeous. This entire Canada trip for me was really planned so I could scope out the 100 Wild Islands. And yeah, the scoping is done. This is the place. Drivable from my home in Eastern Pennsylvania. It's a haul, but drivable. Totally worth it. So I said this about Maine, it is even more true here. This is Alaska quality paddling without the mountains. That's the only thing that I think makes Alaska better. The remoteness of Alaska is I like more, and the mountain views I like more. But other than that, this is incredible. I haven't seen what campsites look like. I'm just paddling, I'm just day paddling out of the van. There are supposed to be great campsites. I haven't found a guidebook yet. I didn't really look, and I have zero internet access here. I will say, normally before shooting a video like this, I would do a ton of research, and there's almost no internet access here. So in that sense, I wish I knew more. I suspect that there are designated campsites. The whole thing is protected. I think 85% of the 100 Wild Islands area is currently protected by Canada, but it is gorgeous. I don't, like, that launch at Murphy's was sketchy. If I were a beginner and didn't have good stable ankles, that was an ankle breaker for sure. I'm sure that there are landable beaches even at high tide. I'm at low tide now, so I'm seeing some. I see one over there that's landable. I don't know what campsites are like, but it's gorgeous. How many times am I going to say that? Oh yeah, beautiful landable beach right there. Let's go check that out. I'll also say I am open to the Atlantic, so weather is something that you have to watch out for here. So we got here yesterday and beautiful view of the water, and but it was blowing. It was blowing probably 25. And I could have used the islands as cover and such. I was like, no, be patient, be patient. The wind will calm down tomorrow morning, so you go paddling early tomorrow morning, and then it'll start building again during the day. And this is what I woke up to. The visibility is about 200 feet, and it's still blowing a little bit. When the wind picks up around 9, it should blow this through, but then I'm back in 20-knot winds, which I'll probably paddle in a bit. Tomorrow is really supposed to be our best day, so we'll see what happens. I've been sitting in my campsite for 2 days with either 30-mile-an-hour winds or zero visibility, so it's definitely something to be aware of. Right now I've got a nice big ocean swell, so definitely could be some challenging paddling. This is fine right now. The water is cold, but not frigid. I've definitely paddled in colder water, but this is something. But definitely you need to just keep an eye on the weather. Is the Shiprock Island group. I was hoping it would say that this was like designated camping, and I can definitely see camping back there. I'm above the high tide line. It's a great beach. It's a great view. Yeah, I'm in love. Shallow through these rocks. Nope, beauteous. That island, which I think is Borges Island, Borgles Island, I see lots of sand beaches. Definitely some current moving through there. A lot of water moving, so you really have to be aware of how much of a push you're getting. And tide is flooding. I think that is a combination of tide and wind. So just stuff to be aware of, like any paddle, but because you're open to the ocean, it's super easy for that to sneak up on you. So something I've said 1,000 times, it's in my books, it's in The Guide's Way. You can definitely see in front of me a current, but I can stay back in here protected by this little island and these rocks. If I can stay here, I won't get pushed out. I'm getting pushed out a little bit because I'm not in close enough. But if reeds collect, if seaweed collects, then you can chill there, take a break, eat a snack, drink some water, regroup, or just look at your crossing and see what you're about to paddle into instead of getting pulled out into it before you're ready. So super easy tip that I've said a million times, and that's it illustrated perfectly. So we're gonna island hop back towards where we started and do a nice big circle. I think I've only come about 1.5 miles, maybe a little bit more. break from this island, and then in about, I don't know, 100 yards, I'll get good coverage. Okay, while I figure out my next move, let's talk about Murphy's camping on the ocean. Okay, so Murphy's camping on the ocean is just what it sounds like. It's a little tiny campground right along the ocean. Beautiful islands off here, great paddling. Campsites are a little close together. I'll show you what that looks like in a second. But in general, services are great, showers are hot, bathrooms are clean, great service. People that work here are super nice. Yeah, great little campground, but it's the access that it gives you that is killer. The front section is more open field with power for RVs and stuff. These are tent sites, which are all wooded and really beautiful. There's also really beautiful hiking trails. Probably my only complaint here as a kayaker is the boat ramp is really rocky and like an ankle breaker. I wish that that was a nicer, like I think about loading a boat here for a week, and you'd absolutely have to load it floating, which is no fun. So that would be, if there was a boat launch, that would be a bit nicer. And they're super nice. My campsite is way down at the end of the road, and they were nice enough to just let me store my boat up here by the marina. And it's sitting on the grass. It would be nice if there was like a boat rack for people who are visiting with their boats. That would be super cool. But you cannot beat these views. This is campsite 31, overlooking the ocean. That's a blade's length deep, and that water is clear, gorgeously clear. Ooh, half a blade's length. That was wild. Big current coming through that little opening, and tried to pull my nose over. I'll tell you, you Nova Scotia paddlers have been very quiet, and now I know why. You're keeping this all to yourself. You would not know that on the other side of this island it is really blowing. Okay, everyone, so that is paddling on the eastern shore of Nova Scotia. It is definitely paddling paradise, and it is a well-kept secret, so shh, don't tell anyone. If you enjoyed this, do me a favor, hit like, hit subscribe. You can buy me a coffee on Coffee. Otherwise, I'll see you on the water.